right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. So let's get started today in a seated position. So whatever looks comfortable for you. It can be with your legs crossed, it can be with the legs extended, or even one out and one in. It's whatever feels right. If you need to sit on something to elevate your body, you can lift the hips up by sitting on a block or maybe a couple of books or even a few pillows. And then you'll begin by closing those eyes, taking a big giant breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, you'll sigh and let that breath go. Just 2 more, breathing in and out. Let your shoulders relax away from the ears, maybe wiggle your head side to side, and finalize that last breath in and that final breath out. Then take the tongue, lick the lips, seal them to one another, and start breathing in and out of your nose. As you start breathing in through the nostrils and out of the nostrils, relax the shoulders from the ears and reach to the crown of the head. Just take a moment here to absorb and acknowledge where you're at, how you feel, what your mind is thinking of. And if it's something that no longer serves your higher purpose, just let it go. Let go of any to-do list. Give yourself permission to be present. As you take this next breath in, draw the breath in fully. And as you exhale, sigh that breath out, letting it go, drawing the navel firmly towards the spine so that you can release any stagnation remaining in the abdomen and through those lungs. Either keeping your eyes closed or fluttering those eyes open. As you take your next breath in, you'll sweep those arms up towards the sky, allowing your palms to kiss. And then exhale, bringing those hands into prayer and at your heart space. We'll inhale, pull our shoulders up. Exhale, roll those shoulders back down. Inhale, sweep those arms back up. Grab that right wrist with your left hand. And then exhale, extend and lean the body over towards that left edge. As you extend and lean towards that left edge, press out through that right side. Keep that right thigh down. Keep your right hip anchored. Full breath in and a full breath out. And then inhale, we'll come back to center. As we return to center, release the grip, switching it out. And exhale, we'll come back over towards this right side now. Relax that left shoulder away from your ear. Gaze anywhere from that right side or even spin up if you prefer. One more inhale, reaching the fingertips actively towards this right side, letting that breath go. On an inhale, we'll come back to center. The arms reach up, and then we'll exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. On an inhale, extend those arms up, let your palms kiss, interlace your fingers, flip the palms inside out, drop the shoulders away from the ears, and look maybe down at an angle. As you look down at an angle, you'll exhale, take the palms forward, dome your spine, tuck the chin towards the chest, and then slide your hands towards that right side, push your rib cage towards that left side. Drop that left shoulder down and then inhale 3 big circles up towards the ceiling and then down towards that bottom left corner until you make it around to the right. Finalize one more circle. And then you'll exhale, return back into that dome spine. Send the palms now over towards that left side, push out of your right rib cage, drop that right shoulder down, and 3 circles in the opposite direction from the first time. And then come back to center. Inhale, those arms reach up, and then exhale, release. Pull the heads of the elbows down, spread the collarbone wide, drop the rib cage down. Inhale, those arms reach up, and then we'll exhale, release those hands down and let your fingertips rest, and then shrug those shoulders up, back and down a few times. And then looking over your right shoulder, breathe in, sit up tall, let go. Come back to center, look over that left shoulder now, releasing through the side of the neck. Come back to center when you're ready, and then switch the direction you have your legs crossed. As you switch the direction you have your legs crossed, remove the flesh or the love from underneath your bottom. And on our inhale, we'll sweep those arms back up towards the sky, shoulders pull away from the ears, knitting the ribs. Exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, fingertips come towards our shoulders. And as they come towards those shoulders, begin to trace circles or movement forward with the right and the left elbow coming towards the front of the room. Switch that direction out. So now take those elbow heads back. And then finally, finding center. Inhale, extend and reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. Cross that left hand towards your right thigh. Once you've adjusted your spine and relaxed the shoulder, take that right arm behind you and anchor through the fingertips. Breath in, tall spine. Breath out, looking over the shoulder. One more just like that. Letting that breath go. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Sweep those arms back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down and then let your fingertips rest once more on those shoulders. Spread the collarbone out wide. Inhale, extend and lift that right arm up. Cross it over towards that left side. And then left fingertips fall behind you. Rising tall, breath in and a breath out. You're here 2 more. And final one. Only when you're ready, inhale, we'll release, bringing both arms back up towards the ceiling. And then we'll exhale, release our hands down to our sides, bow the chest down. And as you bow that chest down, wiggle your hips from one edge to the opposite or more of your shoulders to see what's going on with that low spine, how the hips feel. Maybe you'll feel the length or the stretch and release through the lower portion of your glutes. Now walk those fingers a couple of inches forward. Continue that movement side to side. And then returning back to center, look towards the front of the room and then exhale, bend your elbows, bow your head down. Exhale, press or tent the fingers into the ground, cat it up. Inhale, bend your elbows, dip the chin down, looking forward, pull the hips back. Exhale, dome that spine, cat it up. And one more, inhale. So simulated cat-cows, but a little bit lower. Exhale, doming it up. And then inhale, we'll neutralize. And as we neutralize, rise up tall, release your legs from the way that they're crossed. And when you're ready, work your way onto all fours. As you make your way onto all fours, you'll wiggle those hips from one edge of the room to the opposite edge of the room. Let yourself pause in the center. Big toes are coming together. Knees are as wide as the mat. If possible, sink the hips back and extend your arms forward for that child's pose as you bow your chest down. Allow the forehead to rest on the mat, or at least stack your hands so that your forehead can rest on something. And then massage the space between those eyebrows as you wiggle your head from right side to left side. Taking a breath in here, letting that breath go. One more breath in and out. On your time, we'll rise up into that tabletop position, bringing the knees neutrally, curl the toes under, sink the weight of the body back, and then inhale, slide the weight of the body forward, stretching your wrists. Exhale, take the hips back, stretching the bottom of your feet. Inhale, roll forward so you can stretch those wrists out. Take it back a few times and take it forward a few times. This is all on your breath. So if I'm moving faster than you'd like, slow it down. Or if I'm going too slow, then speed it up for yourself. Now we're going to go ahead and finalize maybe 1 or 2 more. And then we'll find that neutral spine. As we find that neutral spine, you can lift the feet off the mat. You can then lift your wrists one at a time once your feet return back down to the mat. Couple of circles with that right wrist. And a couple of circles with your left wrist. Palms rest down on the ground, 3 rounds of cat-cow, so curl those toes under. And as you inhale, shoulders drop back and down as the belly releases and the chin lifts up. On an exhale, press the tops of the feet into the mat, dome your spine to cat it up. Inhale for that cow pose, soft bend of the elbows, stretch and lengthen through the sternum and the navel. And then exhale, dome that spine, accordioning the belly up. One more, inhale, cow pose. And exhale, catting it up. On our next breath in, we'll neutralize the spine. And as we neutralize the spine, curl the left toes under and inhale, extend that right leg behind you. As that right leg comes behind you, you might want to walk your right hand a little closer to center and then take that left arm out or leave that left hand down, your choice. Breath in. And as you exhale, pull the elbow and the knee in towards your heart, or just the knee if your left palm is down. Inhale, take it long. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, take it long. And then exhale, last time, pull it in. As you pull it in, keep the knee in towards your chest. And as the knee comes in towards your chest, take that right knee out towards that right side and allow it to flap like a door. So return that left palm down, opening up through this right hip, back and forth. And then from here, inhale, leg goes directly behind you. Cross the foot over towards that left side. Push the right hip towards that right edge and look over your shoulder. As you look over your left shoulder, breathe in, reach through the crown, press through the ball of that right foot. And exhale, let the breath go. Send that right hip a little further towards that right edge. Take that full inhalation. Let that breath go. On an inhale, we'll look to the top of the mat. Taking your right knee, bending it behind the left knee, send the blades of the feet out, or if you prefer a little closer is fine. And then rock the hips back so that you can begin to stretch through that glute on this left side. Your arms are still extended forward. Your heart can rest on the thigh. Your left knee has lifted up. And if you decide to anchor your hips down, you can take your hands and then grab those feet if you'd like. Breath in through your nose here. Breath out of the nose here. You're also welcome to wrap your arms instead around your leg. So you can cross those arms in front of you, drop the chin as close as you can towards the kneecap. Let that breath enter. Let that breath go. As you take your next breath in, if you're extended forward and the hips are off the mat, begin to slide your hands back. Let your hips release to the back of the mat. And once you've arrived in a tall seated position, extend and straighten this left leg out towards the left side and bring the sole of your right foot towards that left inner thigh. Wiggle the body side to side. Take a breath in, flex and point those left toes up, and then inhale, reach your arms up. On that exhale, bend the knee as much as you need to, and then fold over towards this left leg. As you fold over towards this left leg, shimmy that hip back. Allow yourself to find a little more length. Your hands can wrap either underneath the calf, around the calf, to the toes, or palms down to the sides. With each exhale, let your shoulders neutralize and come closer and closer towards the ground. Actively allow this right foot to press into the inner thigh of this left leg. Keep the toes pointing up towards the sky, reaching through this left heel. Soft bend of the knee. And then if it's too much, then just let that ankle be soft. Let the toes do whatever they need to. Try to release the low back as you breathe in and out of the nose. One more inhalation here. And then letting that breath go. When you're ready, releasing, begin to lift and rise up. And as you lift and rise up, take that right hand out towards that right side. Your left glute will lift up, curl this left heel towards your body, anchor or allow yourself to bind. Drop the knee down if it feels best. Look over your right side. Feel that length through your quad. Reach through the crown, allow the shoulders to come together, the shoulder blades to come together. And if this is too much for you, you're welcome to just release and turn. If you need a little bit more, walk this left leg towards that edge of the mat as you breathe in and out. One more inhale here and that exhale here. And then when you're ready, let go of that left foot. Sweep this left leg around and over towards this right side. Anchor the sole of the left foot down. Release that glute down to the ground. If this is too much, extend and straighten the right leg, but try to release it as best you can, keeping the leg close to your belly and just allowing yourself to turn so that you can align the knee with the heart or the sternum. Breath in, right arm out. Right arm wraps around this left leg and we'll twist and look over to the left side. You can interlace your hands, you can hold on to the wrist, or if you prefer, Just keep your hand or your arm draped around this left leg and let your left fingertips fall around towards that back side. Looking over the shoulder. Another inhale. And that exhale. Final breath in. And that breath out. And then we'll inhale, return to center, counter twist to that right side. As you counter twist towards that right side, sit up tall. And then inhale, you'll come back to center. Take this left leg, extend it forward. Let your fingertips rest either to right and left side or all the way over towards that right side. Begin to walk your body into that low lunge as you take that right knee back and you're on the sole of your left foot. Inhale when you're ready to rise up for that low lunge. And then exhale, elbow heads will pull down. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, left hand to that left side, right fingertips follow. Keep the heart squared towards the front. Keep hugging this left hip back. Keep pushing or allowing this right hip to meet the left hip. Getting that length through the hip flexor. And if it's too much for your arm, you can also place this right hand around the back of your head and let your head rest in it instead and feel the elbow head reach up. One more breath in and that breath out. And then we'll inhale, release, both arms up, exhale, fingertips come down to frame that left foot. Curl your right toes under, lift that right leg up, press through that right heel and sink the hips a little bit lower. Looking either down at your toes, aligning this left knee with the left ankle or looking forward if that feels better for your neck and shoulders. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, you can bring this left hand towards the inside so that you can slide that left foot back and then come into that downward facing dog or that inverted V, march and paddle your feet out. Take a full breath in. Let that breath go completely. On an inhale, pause, and then roll the vertebrae forward into plank pose. Drop down to those knees. As you drop down to those knees, elbows squeeze in. You'll lower your chest all the way down. As you come all the way down, if your back is super tender, take those legs out wider. If your back is fine, keep them as close as you'd like. Fingertips go beyond your mat, either fingertips or palms down. Inhale, lift it up. You might lift up just 1/4 of an inch and that's fine. Or higher. And then exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lifting up. Take that right shoulder, drop it to the middle of your mat and look over towards your left side. Inhale when you're ready, back to center. Exhale, switch it out. If you want another round, go ahead and let yourself take another round. But if you're ready to return into that tabletop to child's pose, then go ahead and take that route. Otherwise, meet me in that child's pose if you're not taking another round of the shoulder dips. As you come into that child's pose, settle the hips back, extend those arms forward. Once you arrive there, if you need a little love or attention for the triceps, walk your elbows a little closer together where the palms kiss, and now bend the elbows and let the thumbs come somewhere closer towards your back. You're welcome to push into one elbow or the back of the arm, that tricep, and then switch it out to the other side. It'll also help to release some of the tension through the shoulders. Take another breath in here. Let that breath go. And then when you're ready, release, extend those arms towards the top. Let your hands come back to center. Bring those knees back towards one another. Wiggle the hips right side to left side. On an inhale, we'll stabilize the body and take 3 rounds of cat-cows. And if you prefer them the roller coaster style, take them roller coaster style. But if you want them more the traditional way, then just stay in that tabletop position and start your rounds. 3 of them. Inhale, belly down, chest and chin lift up. Exhale, doming that spine to cat it up. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, if you're taking that roller coaster ride, the hips go back. And final one, inhale, cow. Exhale to cat it up. And then inhale, we'll neutralize. As we neutralize, bring those knees close towards one another. And if you need to release the wrist once more, lift your wrist. Curling those right toes under. Inhale, extend that left leg behind you. As that left leg comes behind you, point the toes down, draw the belly up and in. Either allowing that right arm to extend forward or keeping that right palm down. It's your choice. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, tucking both the elbow and the knee in, or just the knee. Inhale, long reach. Exhale, tuck it in. Inhale, long reach. And last time, you'll exhale, tuck it in. On that inhale, extending the leg, and on that exhale, your palm goes down. As the palm goes down, we're going to exhale, pull the knee back in towards the body slightly. Allow the left knee to come out towards this left side and flap it open like a door. Just a few times to get that mobility through the hip. 2 more times. And then after you have finalized, inhale, extend that left leg back out, cross the left leg over towards that right side. Look over the shoulders, breathing in through your nose and then pushing through this left hip. Another breath in here. And that release out here. Look to the top of your mat, bending your knee directly behind that right one. Find the center of the mat, blades out or blades in. And then exhale, start to rock back. Once it feels comfortable for you to release your belly onto the thigh, that's fine. If you prefer to leave the elbows down, that's okay too, but some variation as you bow down. If the glutes made it all the way to the back already, you can grab your ankles or you can wrap your arms around the knees. Listen to yourself. Many times you already know what your body needs and the body begins to wiggle and mold itself. But if it isn't what you need today, if you're like, nope, I want a different route, then listen to that voice inside as well and take that different route. Just make sure that you're taking full inhalations and full exhalations as you breathe in. Maybe count them to 3, 5, or 7, and then at least release equal amount of air or double that air. You've got one more inhale here and that exhale here. Regardless of where you are, begin to press the palms, letting the hips fall down. And as the hips fall down, rise up nice and tall. As you rise up nice and tall, we'll slowly begin to release and extend our arms out to the sides and take this right leg out towards the right side, bringing the sole of the left foot to the inner thigh. Soft bend of the knee, angle the body towards that right leg, and then inhale, those arms reach up. And exhale, hinging at the waist, folding the body forward. Again, hands do not have to touch the toes. I'm not very tall, so my arms seem to extend a little further. If you're here, that's fine. That may be where your edge is. Keep flexing the foot if possible. Keep reaching like you have a string on your heel and allow the crown to extend forward as well. You might find that release through the glute, hamstring attachment, or maybe just the hamstrings themselves might be really tight. Take a breath in here. Let it go. Melt closer and closer towards the leg. Let the shoulders drop down. Belly connects closer towards the thigh or even closer towards the ground. You've got one more inhale here. Soften the toes if you need to. Then on your next breath in, fingertips press into the ground as you lift your body up. Slide that left hand over towards that left side. Begin to curl the right leg in towards the body. Hang on to the ankle and knee can be down. You can walk the knee back, but you're stretching through that front portion of your thigh, the quad. Gaze is anywhere it feels right for you. So it can be over towards this right shoulder, or you can look down towards that left shoulder. Feel yourself connect the shoulder blades, let the ribs drop down, and then knit them together on the low portion of the ribs. You're still taking full inhales. So maybe once more, revisit the length of your breath as it enters the body and as it leaves the body. Take one more inhale here. And that exhale here, letting go of this right leg or this right ankle. Press into the ground, extend and cross this right leg over towards the left side. Let your body anchor, knee points up towards the sky and it's in line with the sternum. Inhale, take that left arm out, wrap that left arm around this right leg, and then begin to look over the shoulder. Know that you can take your right fingertips behind you, or the right hand can wrap around the left one if you prefer. Let your right glute anchor itself into the mat. It wants to lift up. So tucking the leg close to your belly is going to help so that you can anchor that hip down. One more inhale here. And that exhale. And then inhale, we'll look to the front. Exhale, counter twist it. Once you counter twist, you're breathing in through your nose and out of the nose. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Either hand stay to the left or the hands can wrap right to left side. You'll take and extend that right foot forward. Work the weight of the body towards the top of the mat. Low lunge as you begin to take your left leg back. Framing that right foot, aligning the hip on an inhale. Begin to lift and rise up. Once you're up, breath in. Hug that left hip forward. Keep that right one in line with it. And then exhale. Pull the tips of your elbows down. Expand through the heart. Lift the arms up on that breath in, and then side bend. Right hand to that right side, left fingertips follow. Hand can rest around the back of your head if you prefer. Left arm, elbow tip reaching up. Can also bring this right hand on that right thigh if that's more comfortable for you, or if you like the weight, take that weight down. Let the breath enter, fill the lungs, both right and left side equally. Let that breath go. And then releasing, inhale, we'll rise up. Exhale, hands will come down. They'll frame this front foot. Curling the back toe, lifting that back knee. Let yourself push the heel back and out. Sink the hips low. Feel that hip flexor open up even more. Looking about maybe 5 feet in front of you if that's okay, or a couple of inches if that's better for you. Let the weight drop down a little bit more. When you're ready, you'll step back into downward facing dog, and remember, you can bring the right fingertips towards the inside, or you can just slide that foot back. As you slide it back, breath in, breath out. March and paddle the feet out. Breath in and breath out, then find stillness in downward facing dog. And then on our next inhale, lift your heels, roll the vertebrae forward into plank, and exhale, honor off those knees. You'll lower the body down. As you lower the body down, taking your right ear down on the mat, taking your right arm out to the right side, keep that left hand by your breastbone. You'll begin to stack the body on this right hip as you walk the right fingertips away. This may be all you want today, and that's completely fine. But if you need a little bit more, perhaps you bend this left leg and step the left foot behind the right. And if you still need a little bit more, reach to the crown of the head, let your cheek iron itself out, and then you can extend and float that left arm up, left elbow bends, left hand can come to the small of your back, or if you have more mobility, you can allow yourself to reach for that right hand with the left arm. Releasing the erectors as you gently allow the stretch through the pecs. Breathing, reaching through the crown. Exhaling, releasing. Let yourself just melt here. Few inhales, few exhales. You might notice that your erectors, or that area below the scapula or in between, can get a bit of release. If you're ready to come out of it, your arms are bound. Release the arm, bring the fingertips or the palm back down, stack the legs on top of one another. Exhale, roll onto your belly. As you roll onto the belly, take your nose, your chin, or your forehead down on the mat. Bend those knees, windshield wiper to decompress the low spine. Returning to center, you'll do the same thing on that left side. I like to slide to the edge of my mat so that my body stays partially on the mat. But left ear down, left arm goes out, press through that right palm, stack on this left hip. Walk the fingertips away from the body, stretching first through the pecs, bending the knee if you need to go there, extending the arm up towards the ceiling when you're ready. Each side is slightly different, so One side is too much, back off, let yourself accommodate for your needs. If you're ready to release the arm first, palm back down to the mat, stack the legs, exhale, bending or rolling back onto the belly, bending that left elbow, bringing those hands to your side, forehead down on the mat, knees both bend, windshield wiper to release your low back. When you're ready, extending those legs, tucking those toes, palms by your side, elbows tucked in. Inhale that plank pose, and then taking your hips right side to left side to further release that low spine. Once the back feels okay, child's pose as you sink the hips back and extend those arms forward. Sink into this place. Take those knees out a little bit wider. Release the chest even closer towards the ground if possible as you breathe in and out of the nose. Hollow out those armpits. Sink the hips back. Another breath in. And that breath out. Lift up on your breath in time, back into that tabletop. As you come into that tabletop, curl the toes, lift those knees, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Arch or paddle the feet out, back and forth. Look at your kneecaps. And then on your next inhale, find stillness and let that breath go in downward facing dog. As you take your next inhale, lift your heels up high, bend those knees generously, walk or step your feet in between your thumbs as you exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, we'll lift up halfway, a flat back, knees bent. Exhale, release and lower it back down. Separate your feet wider than hip width distance. Grab those elbows for ragdoll. Let your head dangle. As the head dangles, you're just swaying from one edge to the opposite edge. You'll come back to center, and as you return to center, hands down to the ground, feet come back towards one another. And then we'll inhale, reverse and rise. Sweep those arms to the sides, up to the sky, that big breath in. Exhale, elbows pull down. Inhale, those arms reach up. And then exhale, hands down to your sides. As the hands come down to your sides, shrug your shoulders up, back, and down a few times. And then anchor through that left foot. Cross that right leg over and then push the left hip out towards that left side. Hands can remain on the hips, or when you're ready, taking that left arm over, sliding that right hand down or down towards the ground. Open the gaze up, really release to this left side. And if this is too much, both right and left hand can rest at your left hip instead. Got another inhale here. And that breath out here. Then on that inhale, if the arms are over, begin to straighten. As we straighten, counter it. Send that right arm over. Breath in and a breath out. Then inhale back to center, arms up, and then exhale, hands down to your sides. Release and step that right foot over. Wiggle those hips side to side. Come back to center, anchor through that right foot, cross that left leg over. Push the hip, so begin to slide the weight of the body out. Then start to extend those arms how you see fit for yourself. Shoulders away, belly is firm. Squeeze the glutes to protect the body. Remember, both hands can come to the hip if you prefer. Another inhale and an exhale, and then wherever you are, inhale, come back to center, and then counter twist it. Draw that breath in, let that breath go. Inhale, we'll return to center. Exhale, releasing the hands down to the side. Slide left foot out, wiggle those hips right side to left side. If you need a turn where your mat is long way, then that's fine. But if you're on that short end, that's okay too. I'd like for you to take your feet, step them out as wide as you'd like, and then begin to bend your knees. As you bend those knees, you're gonna release the thumbs and the hands down to the inner thighs. Thumbs can point back, fingertips in. Sink it down low, getting into the inner thighs a little further. Breathe in through your nose here. And as you exhale, dip that right shoulder down, look over towards that left side. You're going to do the same thing as you inhale, switch it out to that left side. If you need a couple of rounds, take a few rounds, or if you want to stay right where you're at, enjoying a little more length for a little longer, then go ahead and stay there. Finalizing 1 to 2 more inhales. We'll come back to center and then we'll inhale, rise up for that star pose. As you rise up for that star pose, exhale, the hands come down to your sides, heel toe your feet all the way back to center. And if you're back at the top of the mat, inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, forward fold, lowering those palms down to the mat. Step back with right foot and left foot. Plank pose to downward dog. To inhale, back to plank. To exhale on those knees if you'd like. To lowering the chest all the way down. Inhale, take a little baby cobra, sphinx, or full cobra if you prefer. And exhale, release and lower it down. As we release and lower down, inhale back into plank or tabletop, and then plank pose to exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, you'll march and paddle the feet out once more. And then we'll slowly lower those knees down, slip or send the hips to one side so that you can make your way onto your bottom. Once on your bottom, roll onto your back. So we roll onto our back. We'll breathe in through the nose, tucking those knees in towards the body, massaging the low spine as we trace circles in one direction and the opposite direction. Release and lower the sole of the left foot down. Right leg goes up. Cross that right ankle over for figure 4 on the ground. Thread the needle when you're ready. Your right hand goes through the triangle, the left hand on that outside edge. Flexing the right toes. Maybe circles with the left ankle. Gently guide this left knee in towards your body and let that right hip stay down. When you're ready to release, set that left foot down, take that right leg, extend it up. Your hand can wrap around the hamstring all the way up to the toes. If you have a strap or a belt and you want to wrap it around the ball of the foot, then that's okay too. And then at that point, if you want to extend and straighten your left leg, you can, but the left knee can absolutely stay bent. You can also take a towel if you prefer, or hang on to the pants if that's easier for you, or even if you're wearing shorts. One more breath here. And that release out. When you're ready, letting go, pull that knee in towards your belly. Allow your hands to wrap around this right shin bone. Extend that left leg long. If that left leg goes long, start to slide the knee out towards the armpit. Once it's there, taking the blade of your foot with your hand, take that half happy baby. Create space by wiggling the thigh out towards this right edge. If that's too much, bend the knee on this left leg. An inhale and an exhale here. And then we'll slowly begin to release. Extend that right leg. Let that right leg meet that left leg. Big morning stretch. And then exhale, knees bend. Tuck them back in towards the body for a little hug. Lowering the right foot down. Cross that left ankle over now. Thread it when you're ready. Left foot is flexed. Right one, whatever you want to do with it. Guide that right knee in closer or as close as your body allows. And let that left tailbone drop down. Releasing, setting the sole of that right foot down, left leg goes up. Hold on to that left leg wherever you'd like. Do what you need to with this right leg, whether it's knee bent or leg extended to the top of the mat. Just keep the hip bones down. Make sure that you're breathing in and out of the nose. It's okay if the knee is softly bent. On an exhale, bend the left knee, bring it towards your chest. Hands interlace and wrap around the shin bone until you're able to send the knee out towards the armpit. Again, do what you need to with this right leg until you're able to take that half happy baby. Bring that left rib cage towards the inside portion or the inner thigh on this left leg so that you can really get a deeper sensation. If your head is off the ground, maybe take some pillows and rest your head on it or your hand so that you have an anchor for your head so that you're not having any strain. You're only here one more inhale and exhale. Then we'll slowly begin to release, extending that left leg long until it meets the right. Extend the legs, take a breath in, and then on that exhale, tuck those knees in towards your chest and take full happy baby. Wiggle if you need to side. And then return to center, legs go up. Massage the back of the hamstrings if you'd like, bending those knees, cactus or T the arms. You'll exhale, release the knees to that right side of the room. Keep that left shoulder anchored and look over to that left side. Breathe in through those tight little cracks, especially with the belly wrung out. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, switch it out. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Wrap those arms around yourself for a big giant squeeze. And then for 3 inhales and exhales, we'll rest in our final resting spot of Shavasana. So when you're ready, legs extend to the corners of your mat, arms to your sides. Begin that breath work on your time. Might be long inhales, they may be short. Let everything relax. If you desire a little more time here, then just stay where you're at. If you're ready to wake in or allow the body to come into that seated position, wiggle the fingers, the toes, wrist and ankles, and then begin to bend those knees. So setting the soles of the feet down on the mat. You can windshield wiper those legs side to side until you're exhaling the breath and rolling over towards that right side. Then begin to lift and rise up into a comfortable seat. Again, if you require more time resting, stay where you're at. Otherwise, as you sit up, breathe in through your nose, tip or dip the chin towards the chest as you let that breath go. Thank you for joining me this morning. It's been an honor. Hope you enjoyed this day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good one. I'll see you
You
next
too.
week.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.